What's up YouTube, this is Mathwas97 and welcome back to my WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. This is the 34th installment. We're just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. The hype only continues to build as we come to you from San Antonio, Texas. This is going to be a huge episode of Monday Night Raw because, as we know, in our main event, we will see Seth Rollins take on Samoa Joe. That is going to be huge. 2 men who have massive matches coming up for them at the WrestleMania pay-per-view. But tonight they collide in our main event. But we're kicking things off with some leftovers from the last episode of main event. Do you see what I did there? I'm a funny guy. Anyway, Sami Zayn, he's not in a laughing mood right now, because on the last episode of main event, Curtis Axel ambushed Sami Zayn backstage in the locker room. Sami Zayn was supposed to take on Rusev in singles action, but instead Curtis Axel blindsided Sami Zayn backstage, took his spot in the match, and then thanks to some interference from Heath Slater and Bo Dallas, Sami Zayn scored the win over Rusev. Well, tonight, Sami Zayn is looking for some retribution against the Outcasts. Sami Zayn, he's going to be taking on Curtis Axel to kick off our show. I guess we'll have to wait and see if Sami Zayn can get the revenge that he's looking for, because if the last episode of main event is any indication, the Outcasts, they're a force to be reckoned with as long as you have the 3 of them together. The numbers game, it gave Curtis Axel a huge advantage over Rusev in their previous encounter, and I would imagine that the same would hold true for this matchup with Sami Zayn. You can always see whenever Curtis Axel comes into the ring, he is flanked by Heath Slater and Bo Dallas. And I gotta say, these 3 men, they certainly have, not just that they've changed their appearance, but their whole demeanor has changed ever since Curtis Axel was, well, completely squashed by Triple H in their encounter about a month ago. And now just look at these 3 men. You look at a guy like Bo Dallas. He wasn't exactly someone that you could, I'd say wasn't someone that you could really cheer for, but Bo Dallas, he was more of a lighthearted sort of, he claimed to be inspirational. There was at least some sort of positivity that he was attempting to convey, whether or not he successfully pulled it off. And then, of course, Heath Slater. Well, I mean, Heath Slater. Just think of the name Heath Slater. What do you think of? You think of the comedy act. You think of the guy who comes out here, the one-man band, baby. He's throwing himself all over the place. He's just over the top, loud, obnoxious. Not anymore. Heath Slater as well. I mean, Curtis Axel, I don't know if he's really changed as much. He has become more aggressive, more calculated than in the past. But Curtis Axel was never really he never really was in it for any sort of comedy. He was always out. He always had some sort of serious goal at the end of the day, whereas Heath Slater and Dallas, it is sort of questionable as to what their true motives were, if they really were as motivated as they appear to be right now. And I guess that just goes to show the strength in numbers, how this sort of mob mentality has come over the Outcasts, as Sami Zayn off the slingshot suplex went for the pin, but a quick kick out by Curtis Axel. As Axel back to his feet now. Oh, big punch to the face of Sami Zayn. A jab, another right hook, another jab. Curtis Axel starting to fire up. Oh my goodness. Sami Zayn gets pulled right back into that reverse elbow. And now it looks like someone just slipped a chair into the ring. The referee hasn't seen it yet, but of course this matchup is not no disqualification. However, that steel chair, should the referee see it and try to take it out of the ring, that definitely could provide a distraction that could help give Curtis Axel the advantage, or perhaps it could backfire. Who knows? As Sami Zayn trying to fight his way out of this chin lock. Curtis Axel just looking to punish Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn with the Northern Light suplex, bridging into the pin. 2, another kick out at 1 by Axel. Axel, ever the defiant one, not looking to show any signs of weakness, no matter how many pinfalls Sami Zayn attempts. And now look at this. Bo Dallas is up on the apron. Well, the referee's going to get rid of that chair now. But look at Axel capitalizing on the distraction with an electric chair, and now the pin. 1, 2. Kick out by Sami Zayn. That electric chair just scrambled Sami Zayn's brains. And now Curtis Axel with a vertical suplex. Looking to target the spine, the lower back of Sami Zayn. There's now Curtis Axel driving that knee straight into the back of the skull. Sami Zayn driven face first into the canvas. Now look at Curtis Axel. Axel with the submission hold. Going to work on the back, the neck of Sami Zayn. A smart strategy by Axel coming off that electric chair. But Sami Zayn able to slip out of it. Here comes Zayn with the roll-up schoolboy. But Curtis Axel just able to reach out and grab that bottom rope. Force the break. Sami Zayn now, he's looking for a vertical suplex. But Axel blocks it with a knee to the skull. And Curtis Axel now. Big boot to the midsection. Follows it up with a DDT, spiking Sami Zayn's skull into the canvas. As now Curtis Axel dragging him over to that turnbuckle. Axel perhaps looking to size him up. No, wait. Zayn back to his feet. Well, that's usually where Axel will go for his trademark elbow drop to the face. But Sami Zayn made it back to his feet. Axel had to improvise with a European uppercut. And now Axel back to work on the neck. Just the whiplash on that move. You could feel it from over. I could feel it from over here. But Curtis Axel, he's not done just yet. Not sure what else he's got in mind as he places Sami Zayn into the corner. Curtis Axel in the last episode of Monday Night Raw, he threw out the challenge to Baron Corbin. He wants his US title. But Sami Zayn is a man who has faced Baron Corbin, a man who challenged him for the US title at Fastlane. Wait a minute, Slater! Slater just caught the ropes, and Sami Zayn was... Well, he got knocked off that top rope thanks to Heath Slater. The referee didn't see it. And now Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel's got Sami Zayn. Picture perfect. Perfect plex. And the pin. 1, 2, 3. No. Sami Zayn just survives the perfect plex. Curtis Axel now the vicious elbow to the face. That's the thing. If Curtis Axel could... I mean, he defeated Rusev on the last episode of Main Event. If he could pick up a win over a former United States Championship #1 contender, well, that's only going to strengthen his contendership. It's only going to further support his quest to become the next United States champion. He wants a match with Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. But Sami Zayn, perhaps he still has some unfinished business with Corbin. As again, Bo Dallas plays a distraction, but Sami Zayn was wise to the blind assault this time. And now Sami Zayn with a Koji clutch. The Koji clutch. Curtis Axel, he's in trouble. The ropes are just out of his reach. Is Axel gonna tap out to the Koji clutch? Sami Zayn has that leg wrapped around the throat. Axel, he's gotta be running out of oxygen at this point. But Axel just able to slip out of it. Now look at Dallas. Bo Dallas distracting the referee here. The referee's view is obstructed as Curtis Axel lays out Sami Zayn. Now look at this. Heath Slater's in the ring, but the referee doesn't see it. Dallas obstructing the referee's view. And oh, come on! A double team move by Slater and Axel. The referee's back was turned. And again, this is where the numbers game take full effect. Curtis Axel, just like he did to Rusev, looking to finish Sami Zayn off, put him away with that Hangman's Face Buster. 1, 2, 3. Curtis Axel, he calls that Hangman's Face Buster Hell on Earth. And that is exactly what Sami Zayn just experienced in this matchup. Bo Dallas, Heath Slater playing a key distraction to benefit Curtis Axel, lead him to victory in this matchup tonight. And that is back-to-back wins for Curtis Axel over two very strong competitors here on Monday Night Raw. Two men who, in the future, you could be looking at future world champions. Axel just beat both of them in the span of 2 episodes. Curtis Axel, the Outcasts just as a whole. Wait a minute. Triple H. This may not be the United States Championship matchup that you were all expecting, but it's the matchup that we're gonna get. At WrestleMania, Curtis Axel of the Outcasts will step up to take on Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, for his United States Championship. And as we've just found out, Brock Lesnar will be in the building for the next episode of SmackDown, so I have a feeling that even this matchup, despite how stacked the WrestleMania card already is, I have a feeling that we may have one more left in the works. Curtis Axel's finally done it. He's finally earned himself that United States Championship, but look at this. Paul Heyman confronting Batista backstage. Well, our main event next week is going to be Dave Batista versus AJ Styles in a tables match. That certainly is a strong way to go into WrestleMania. A tables match in the main event. That's going to be massive. That's going to be an incredible show for sure. But we're not quite done with this episode just yet. We've got a long way to go before next week, as the Divas Empire, Summer Rae and Tamina Snuka, make their entrance here in San Antonio, Texas. Summer Rae, Tamina, of course, they've made some less than flattering comments, or rather more so Summer Rae. Tamina hasn't, well, that I know of, Tamina hasn't said anything on air, but Summer Rae, some less than flattering comments about Stephanie McMahon. A while back, we saw Summer Rae take on Paige as a part of our Australian tour. Tamina Snuka was not present for that tour thanks to Stephanie McMahon. She did not, for some reason, Tamina Snuka just wasn't brought on that tour. And so Summer Rae had to take on Paige by herself. This week, the Divas Empire is back together, but I don't know if that's going to save Tamina Snuka from this matchup tonight. We saw Asuka take on Summer Rae over a month ago on Monday Night Raw, and wasn't even so much of a match so much as it was a massacre. Asuka just made quick work of Summer Rae. Tamina Snuka did not get involved in the matchup. Tamina Snuka just watched on as Asuka tore Summer Rae apart. I mean, really, what could Tamina have done in that situation? Can Tamina hold her own against Asuka? That's what we're going to find out tonight. Summer Rae is at ringside. I mean, to be fair, Tamina Snuka did try to play a role in that matchup, but Asuka just completely ignored her. Asuka was not putting up with any of Tamina's shenanigans. The only thing Tamina could have done in that situation was, well, get physical, get in the ring, and try to attack Asuka herself. And, well, that would have gotten Summer Rae disqualified on one hand. On the other, well, Asuka, she's not someone you want to go and try to pick a fight with if you can avoid it. Although I guess Tamina Snuka could not avoid a fight with Asuka, as is happening right now. And you see, look at Tamina Snuka. Tamina with a very smart strategy here. Looking to close the gap. Go straight after Asuka. Keep it close, up close and personal. Do not allow Asuka to create enough separation that she can use those devastating strikes, those kicks. And if you can, as you can see, Tamina Snuka right now going after the arms. If she can keep it close and go to work on the arms, well, then she's halfway to beating Asuka right there. No, but Asuka now, a kick to the midsection, and here we go. Once Asuka starts to fire up these strikes, these devastating kicks, there's no stopping her. As there's a massive shot right between the shoulder blades. Asuka now, massive kicks right to the chest of Tamina Snuka. Oh, God! A massive knockout kick to the skull. Tamina could be out cold. This match could be over already. 1, 2, 3. No, Tamina just able to kick out. Asuka. But there's another kick and another one right to the sternum. Tamina Snuka tried to get back to her feet quickly, but Asuka shut that down almost immediately. Oh, and look out! No, Tamina able to dodge that roundhouse kick, and again, Tamina right back in Asuka's face with a Thez press. And now Tamina trying to utilize her power, her striking ability. Definitely pales in comparison to Asuka, but Tamina She's got to utilize every tool that's in her arsenal to try to put Asuka away here. If Tamina even wants to hope to survive. She's at least putting up more of a fight than Summer Rae could. But then again, this is a former... Oh my god! A massive kick to the face. And I was going to say, well, both of these women, Tamina, Snuka, and Summer Rae, are former Divas champions. But that didn't really help Summer Rae in her matchup with Asuka last month. I don't know if it's going to help Tamina Snuka at all in this matchup. As look at Asuka! Caught the leg, and with a dragon leg screw, just wrenching at the knee of Tamina Snuka. And now Asuka, massive roundhouse kick! Straight to the side of Tamina's skull, but look at Summer Rae. Summer Rae distracting Asuka, and now look at Tamina Snuka! Tamina Snuka with the two-handed bulldog, and she made sure that she ran Asuka's face down all three of those ropes, and that is solid steel in those ropes, folks. She was looking to... I mean, not only can you give your opponent a rope burn in that situation, but, I mean, you could potentially break their nose. Oh, now look at Summer Rae. Summer Rae distracting the referee, but Tamina Snuka tried to capitalize with the steel chair that Summer Rae threw in the ring, but Asuka having none of it. Summer Rae, she had the referee's view obstructed. And now I think Asuka, she could be sizing Tamina up for that running hip attack. That steel chair is still in the ring. Well, not for long. The referee looking to get rid of it. As here comes Asuka. Asuka off the ropes, running hip attack. Hook of the leg, but Summer Rae had the referee distracted. Asuka couldn't finish her off. Oh, but now she's going to. Tamina Snuka. That's not going to save her. It's only going to delay the agony. As now Tamina Snuka, caught in the Asuka lock. She's got no choice but to submit. And just like that, Asuka puts away Tamina Snuka in no time flat. That is now 2 Divas champions that Asuka has just laid waste to. Did I say 2 Divas champions? I'm not even considering the Queen of the Ring tournament. Make it 4 Divas champions. Well, she goes up against she goes up against a former Divas champion in Natalya at WrestleMania, but judging by her current track record, I don't think she's going to have any trouble at WrestleMania. She might win that women's championship handily. As now backstage, you can see there's one half of the tag team champions, Finn Balor. Wait a minute, who's making... Oh, there's Bubba Ray Dudley. We know that... Oh my god! Bubba Ray Dudley. Well, there's some of the veteran mind games. The mind games from Bubba Ray Dudley just slapping Finn Balor in the face. We found out in the last episode of Main Event that the tag team titles will be on the line in an elimination fatal 4-way match. That also includes the Ascension, the Dudley Boyz, and the Primetime Players. And it looks like Bubba Ray Dudley not wasting any time getting inside the mind of the champs, getting inside the head of Finn Balor. But it's main event time now. We'll focus on the tag team situation when we can get back to it. Right now, we've got the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe, well, he showed us last week that he is in a foul mood. But tonight, I don't know. The numbers game could play against him because Seth Rollins, he wants Baron Corbin at ringside. Baron Corbin, he has beaten Samoa Joe in the past at Battleground in that fated triple threat match where Baron Corbin won the United States Championship over Cesaro. Baron Corbin was able to hold his own against Samoa Joe, and that definitely could give Seth Rollins a major advantage in this matchup tonight. As here comes the architect behind the Shield, the man who claims that he single-handedly destroyed the Shield, and the man who will face Dean Ambrose in a 60-minute Iron Man match at WrestleMania. It is Seth frickin' Rollins. But one question that I have is, where's Baron Corbin? Seth Rollins, he told Baron Corbin, he said, hey, I want you to come out to the ring with me next week. You have to have my back. But I don't see Baron Corbin. The United States champion is nowhere to be found. Seth Rollins is all by himself. Oh my God, what does that mean? What does this mean for, what exactly is the standing of Team Rollins? Baron Corbin, I thought that he was on good terms with Seth, but has something changed? I guess we're not gonna get answers to that now, it seems. I guess we'll have to figure out more as we can get the information as the information becomes available. It looks as though Seth Rollins is just as confused as the rest of us. But that's not gonna help him in this matchup tonight. That's just an extra, something extra weighing on his mind. Not only does he have to worry about Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania, but now he has to worry about, well, why is Baron Corbin not backing me up? What's the deal with Baron Corbin? And, I mean, you can't divide your attention between 3 things, let alone 2 things, when you're going up against a guy like Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe will rip your head off. As Joe went for a vicious kick, but it's reversed. As Seth Rollins now, oh my God, what a knee. Massive knee to the skull of Samoa Joe, follows it up with a standing shooting star press. Seth Rollins has to utilize his quickness, his athletic ability, to run circles around Samoa Joe tonight. As now Seth Rollins off the rapid-fire curb stomps goes for the pin, but a kick out at 1 by Joe. Samoa Joe is going to have the clear power advantage tonight, so Seth Rollins, he's got to be quick. He's got to stay on his feet. He's got to stay vertical. Oh, but look at this. Samoa Joe! With a flurry of slaps and strikes, just levels Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins right now, he's in trouble. If Samoa Joe can slow down the pace of this matchup, well then that's going to give him a dominating advantage over Seth Rollins. As look at Samoa Joe, no, reversed. Reversed with a bulldog by Seth Rollins. And Rollins now to the corner. Calling Samoa Joe to his feet. Here comes the Architect with another massive knee to the skull. You have to think, this close to WrestleMania, just 2 weeks away, Seth Rollins, the 60-minute Iron Man match. You have to think that he's been conditioning himself for this matchup. I mean, he's already cardio Jesus, but Seth Rollins, it's 60 minutes. And when you're going up against a guy as physical, as insane, as capable for destruction as Dean Ambrose, I mean, this is a man, Dean Ambrose. We know what Dean Ambrose is willing to put his body through. We know the risks that he's willing to take. But when you know that he's going up against Seth Rollins, a man that he despises, that he hates with every fiber of his being, I have a feeling that we haven't seen anything yet, and Seth Rollins has to be well aware of that. So he's got to try to end this match as quickly as possible with a super kick like that, and now the feet on the ropes, he might just do it. No. Samoa Joe just able to escape it. Seth Rollins trying to bend the rules, use every trick in the book to escape this match with Samoa Joe tonight, with his body still intact. But that's easier said than done, because Samoa Joe, he is a machine if he's a man. He's more man than he is the Samoan submission machine. So Seth Rollins, I don't know. You can't really compete with a machine like Samoa Joe, as Samoa Joe is displaying right now. Rollins planted face first. Samoa Joe calling him to his feet. Samoa Joe, he's not done by a long shot. Samoa Joe, this is a big matchup for him tonight as well, sending a huge statement to Randy Orton and Batista. Joe, he destroyed the Big Show last week. The Big Show, a man who was formerly a part of Team Rollins. He was a part of that Survivor Series matchup. Used to be Seth Rollins' right-hand man. But things have changed. And Samoa Joe last week, he just absolutely destroyed the Big Show, just like he's doing to Seth Rollins right now. As he goes for the Chimeraplex into the pin. 1, 2. Kick out by Rollins at 2 3/4. But Samoa Joe is in firm control right now. Seth Rollins just does not have an answer to the might, the power of Samoa Joe. As look at Samoa Joe now. Joe, can he lock it in? He's got the body scissors, the coquina clutch. The coquina clutch is applied. Seth Rollins trapped. He's not going to be able to get to the ropes. Rollins, he may have to submit. And if he doesn't, he might pass out. Samoa Joe. He's so close to victory, but look at Seth. Look at Seth Rollins able to escape it. Using his body as a weapon with just a headbutt to Samoa Joe. Now follows it up with a drop kick to the face. Seth Rollins now. You can feel the sense of urgency. Seth Rollins knows that he's in trouble. If he gets caught in another coquina clutch, there may be no escaping it. But if he gets hit with a muscle buster, well, we know it's all over. There's now Seth Rollins. Reverse STO straight into that second turnbuckle. And now Seth Rollins to the top rope. Looking to go to the high rent district with a frog splash. Might put him away. 1, 2. Now a kick out again by Joe. Samoa Joe, like I said, he's a machine. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to put this man away. And Seth Rollins throwing a temper tantrum, but he's got to stay focused on Samoa Joe. And he didn't do that, and that's going to give Joe the opening. He had too much recovery time. And now Samoa Joe's got him up again, and again. He plants Seth Rollins face first. That is just the overwhelming strength of Samoa Joe on display. Oh no, from the second rope. A senton, just, good lord, he might have broken the ribs of Seth Rollins. 2, 3. Not so fast, folks. Seth Rollins will not die. And at this point, you have to wonder, how much longer does Seth Rollins try to keep this up? At what point is momentum worth risking your body, endangering yourself so close to WrestleMania? At what point does damage overwhelm momentum? At what point do you just take the loss? Do you cut your losses and just get pinned? But then again, this is sort of the arrogance of Seth Rollins shining through. Seth Rollins doesn't want to look weak going into WrestleMania. His pride wouldn't take it. But that could be his undoing as he manages to reverse Samoa Joe. You have to think Joe was going for the muscle buster. But Seth Rollins countered it. Now a dropkick to the back. Samoa Joe, he's in trouble. Seth Rollins certainly has turned the tides. But if he can't put Samoa Joe away quickly, well, then it will all be for nothing. As Seth Rollins looking to do just that. Sizing Samoa Joe up for that power bomb into the turnbuckle. And now, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Dean Ambrose! Well, there is a no contact clause in place, but Dean Ambrose is here regardless. Dean Ambrose is in San Antonio, and he's headed straight for the ring. He's making a beeline for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, that distraction. He took his eyes off the prize, and now Samoa Joe gonna make him pay for it. Rollins, he knows that there's a no contact clause in play, but even so, Ambrose's presence was enough to throw him off his game for even just a split second. And that allowed Samoa Joe to capitalize, muscle buster and all. 1, 2, 3. Samoa Joe has just pinned Seth Rollins. Samoa Joe is your winner here tonight in the main event. And you have to give a huge assist to Dean Ambrose. Samoa Joe, I think it's safe to say that he could have done it on his own, but Dean Ambrose certainly helped Samoa Joe preserve himself. He's got a massive match heading his way at WrestleMania. But that's going to do it for this episode, so until next time, keep on YouTubing.